If you're out making over $100 an hour on eBay, congratulations. This video is not for you, but if you're not making $100 an hour on eBay, you might want to stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to go over the 5 reasons why you are not making $100 an hour, and we're going to talk about how you can transition from being a part-time seller to a full-time seller while still maintaining your part-time hours. Let's start with reason number 1 why you're not making $100 an hour on eBay. The primary reason why you're not making $100 an hour, and please don't hate me for this, is that you're still sourcing at Goodwill and other thrift stores. You gotta stop. I see very consistently resellers go into thrift stores like Goodwill and even the Goodwill bins to buy items to resell. There are many issues to this form of reselling, but I'm gonna point out the main 3 of them. The first issue is that this is easy. And when something is easy, everyone is going to do it. I can't walk into a Goodwill without seeing people on their phones, Google searching stuff, trying to make $10 to $12 to $15 profit per item. Not only is this kind of ruining thrifting, but when something's this easy, you're gonna have inherent competition, thus making it way more difficult to be able to find enough profit at thrift stores to make $100 an hour, flipping them on eBay. Reason number 2 why thrift stores are holding you back is because you're buying lower quality inventory. And this leads to a lot of problems. When you sell lower quality inventory, it leads to a lower quality buyer. When your average sales price is between $20 and $40, the people who are buying your stuff typically have less money than the people who are buying stuff for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on eBay. And these people are gonna nickel and dime you way more than these $3,000 buyers. When my average sales price was low, I never received more negative feedback, returns, complaints. All the problems happened because I was selling poor inventory. When I raised my inventory to be higher quality, higher dollars, people stopped caring about returns. They are just happy with the products they got because they're good quality buyers. Reason number 3 why you need to stop sourcing at thrift stores is that no one gets rich flipping $5 into $20. As a reseller, you make your money when you flip $100 into $400 or $500 into $2,000. You will need to sell 20 items at a $15 profit in order to make $300 when you could just sell 1 item for a $300 profit. When you are taking the time to source, clean, list, and ship 20 different items that you bought at a thrift store, there's no way you can make $100 an hour when you're only making $15 to $30 an item. The math just doesn't work. Okay, my thrift store rant is over. Let's get into reason number 2 why you're not making $100 an hour. Reason number 2 is that you are buying far too many items to resell. Not to throw shade at anyone, but I've seen resellers with storage units, multiple storage units, even warehouses full of items to resell on eBay. And there are 2 main issues with that. Issue number 1 is that you have a high overhead cost. You're paying rent on these storage facilities and utilities on these. And that's only going to increase over time as rents and prices for everything go up. Reason number 2 is that it's just going to be a headache to store, organize, list, and ship storage units full of items. When you're taking 5-10 minutes to clean and list a $10 item, you're gonna make $60 an hour. That's great, but you're never gonna break the threshold of $100 an hour, especially when you're digging through your storage unit or, oh wait, which storage unit do I have this item in? It's incredibly difficult to organize and worry about multiple storage units full of items. So please, 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 be selective in the items you resell. Reason number 3 kind of relates to the first 2 points of you're shopping at the thrift store and you have too much inventory. But this one is that your average sales price is too low. My average sales price is $461.75. And that's a number that I'm still trying to increase. I'm sick of going to the post office to ship out a $30 item. I'm totally okay going to the post office or the UPS store to ship out a $500 item where I'm making $300 in profit. You are much more likely to be happier and more successful when you have a clear mind and 30 listings on your eBay store versus 3,000. 3,000 is just insane. If you have 3,000 listings, please rethink your whole business. There are two types of resellers. There are quantity resellers and quality resellers. In a perfect world, you want to be both. A quality reseller is someone who sells low volume, but really, really high-end, high-ticket items. A quantity reseller is someone who sells really high volume, low ticket. So let's say they sell $120 items, whereas a quality reseller will sell one $2,000 item. And you can just kind of do the math in your own head of who has more time on their hands. You're working harder and not smarter. You got a big brain, you got to use it in this game. Just like any business, in order to sustain and grow, you need to evolve and adapt. And it's the same for reselling. This means thinking outside the box in terms of your sourcing strategies and being different than all the other resellers. And that is what will set you apart. I want to tell you a story of how I did this. I was scrolling Facebook Marketplace one day and I came across a deal for some Square POS devices. I reached out to the guy. He originally wanted $2,500 and I offered him $800 for only the handheld devices, and he happily agreed. So I went, paid $800 cash, picked them up, got them listed on eBay between $169 and $239 for the ones that were new in the box. And as they all sold, I made over $1,000 profit. So I'm like, well, that was quick and easy. I want to sell more Square POS equipment and other POS equipment. So I sat down and I asked ChatGPT to ask me an email to send to all the restaurants in my town asking for their POS devices. So I sat down, had a drink, and sent over 100 emails to all the restaurants in my town. And one guy responded. Now, sending these emails didn't take me more than an hour. So we're so far so good on our hourly rates. And he responded, yes, I have a lot of POS devices that I'm not using. Let's make a deal. So I went over to his restaurant and I offered him $160 for all the POS devices he had sitting around. And between two of them, I made a $288 profit between these two sales. And that is why you need to think smarter and not harder in this reselling business. By doing stuff and getting creative outside the box, by being different than the thrift store resellers, Google image searching, and listed on eBay, you will make more money than them. It's proven. The last and most important reason as to why you're not an $100 an hour reseller is that you're not sourcing online. And I'm not talking getting stuff shipped to your door. I'm talking Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Now, there is a price discrepancy between local markets, such as your town's Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and national/global markets like eBay. If you can find these price discrepancies and use them to your advantage by looking up the difference in price between something listed on Facebook and something listed on eBay, you will easily reach your $100 an hour goal. Now, this is how I turned my part-time job into my full-time job while keeping the same hours. I stopped going to the thrift store and I started going on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Now, if you want to learn the exact strategies that I use, how I run the numbers, how I find great deals, and how I negotiate them, use that top link in the description to book a coaching call with me. We'll chat one-on-one for an hour. I will find you a profitable flip on your Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist to cover the cost of the coaching call, no questions asked, or you get your money back. I almost guarantee, I 100% guarantee that I can find you a flip in your area to make you at least $100 and probably even more. And as I said, I'm not just talking. Let me give you proof through 3 different flips besides that Square POS one. I already told you about that, but 3 other different flips that made me over $100 an hour. Let's talk about the first flip. My first flip was for a lot of 6 ham radios. They're all Motorola X series ham radios. One was an X 8330 and I had 5
X 4,550. I saw this was listed an hour and a half away from me for $400. I looked up the comps. They looked amazing. So I got in my car, drove an hour and a half, paid the guy full asking price of $400. In between the 6 radios, I made over $1,000 profit. And it took me an hour and a half to drive there, an hour and a half to drive back, so 3 hours there, between cleaning and listing an hour, and we'll call shipping an hour as well. So in 5 hours, I made $1,074. So that's over $200 an hour. Second case study. I spent $2,000 on a full swing kit golf simulator. This guy lived 30 minutes away from me. He was asking $2,500. I negotiated with him, paid $2,000 for it, and I got it listed on eBay for $3,800. The next day, I got an offer for $3,400, and I took it happily. Spending $2,000 stressed me out, so if I knew I could make a profit quickly, I'd be very, very happy. My profit was $876.90. That was an hour of driving, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. Took me maybe 30 minutes to list it because I had to do some research, and probably 15 minutes to ship, so we'll call it 2 hours. But my hourly rate on that was $425. Last and third case study. If you've been watching some of my videos in the past, you know that I love to sell Navien tankless water heaters. Last year I bought one from this guy. He's a contractor. He sells them to me at $800, and I sell them on eBay for between $1,200 and $1,500, which means I profit $200 to about $500 every single sale. Well, in the last 6 months, I've bought and sold 13 tankless water heaters. I go pick them up 45 minutes away. I drive 45 minutes back. I have pictures from listing them before, and I just keep them in my trunk. So whenever they sell, I just drive them straight to the UPS store. So we'll call it 2 hours per tankless water heater. And I make between $200 and $400. I'll throw up all of my sold comps for tankless water heaters, and you can see I've been selling a lot of them. So that's just another case study on how you guys can do this too. And the one tip I learned from this is that you should be telling people when you pick stuff up on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, that you're a reseller too. Now, that is it. Those are the 5 reasons why you're not making $100 an hour, and 5 reasons to remedy that. I told you what to go do. This is what I do. Now it's all on you to go out and implement that, and comment down below what you go out and find in your area on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist to flip, and book a coaching call with me if you want to know exactly what I buy to resell in my local market to flip on eBay. Peace.